New developments tonight in the case of 5 mid-Michigan teenagers accused of throwing a rock from a freeway overpass, killing a driver below. Sunday marks 3 years since Kenneth White was killed by that rock smashing through the windshield of the car he was riding in. A judge sentenced the oldest of those 5 suspects 1 year ago, but the cases against 4 of the other ones are still stuck in limbo, but there could be some movement. Our Ann Perret has been following this story from the beginning. New tonight, she breaks down what's holding up their cases.
On the night of October 18, 2017, police say 5 Clio boys, who were teenagers at the time, threw rocks over this Dodge Road overpass onto I-75. Kenneth White died from the impact. 3 years later, 4 of them have yet to be sentenced.
All I can do is cry for him. That's all I do is cry.
Kenneth White's mom, TERESA Simpson, sits front row in the courtroom for every hearing. Last summer, she and her family cheered when hearing the judge reject the juvenile sentence agreement for the 4 younger teens, believing they shouldn't be treated differently from Kyle Anger, who admitted to throwing the rock that killed her son.
I'm just really pleased with everything, the outcome. I'm so glad that Kenneth is getting his justice he deserves.
The judge's decision that day, a shock to the 4 defense attorneys. They had worked out an agreement with the prosecutor. Trevor Gray, Alexander Miller, McCaden Payne, and Mark Sikelski would plead guilty to the adult felony charge of manslaughter and would be sentenced as juveniles.
Sending 14, 15, and 16-year-olds to the state penitentiary was not something that anybody thought would help our community in the long run. We thought they would learn bad habits, they could be assaulted, they would come out worse.
Because the deal was rejected, the 4 took back their plea, prompting prosecutor David Layton to ask to drop the charge and recharge them as juveniles, guaranteeing they'd serve their time in a strict juvenile detention center where part of the focus would be rehabilitation. But the judge refused to sign the paperwork allowing that, so the case went to the Court of Appeals. It was argued this week. Judge Ferris says the Michigan Judges Association represented him. He says he stands with his decision to refuse to dismiss the case. Defense attorney Mike Manley argued his side to the appellate court, too, that he believes Judge Farah acted like a prosecutor, not a judge, who he says should remain neutral.
It's our opinion that Judge Farah overstepped his bounds from the bench, deciding what the plea bargain is going to be. That's up to Mr. Layton.
The appeals court decision is expected any day now. We'll let you know when it comes through. In Vienna Township, I'm Ann Perret, ABC 12 News.
As part of the initial agreement, attorney Mike Manley says they agreed not to ask for bond, but as we reported earlier this summer, Judge Farah granted Alexander Miller a $25,000 bond in June. He's currently out of jail on a GPS tether. It's not clear yet if he'll lose out on the agreement for doing so. In Tally, there have been 2 recent incidents like that one 3 years ago. 2 12-year-old girls could now be facing charges after police say they threw a rock from a US 23 overpass in Livingston County on Tuesday. It hit a car below, shaking up the driver, but he wasn't hurt, thankfully. A 41-year-old Oakland County man has been charged, accused of throwing sandbags off of I-76, an overpass there in Lyon Township last week. Police say one of those bags seriously injured a driver below.